an email out to my list. So hopefully people got that to know that we're here. I'm going to just give it a moment. Okay, good. So I'll give it a moment. I think sometimes it takes people by surprise, and I'm working on doing a better job of letting people know what I'm doing. And, sometimes I get so deep into the working with the authors and creating things that are going to help authors and working on my courses and things that I don't do a very good job of letting you guys know what's going on and marketing all of this great stuff that I do. So I am going to do my best to try to help that, because I don't want you guys to miss out on anything, especially all these free things that we do for open Q&A and stuff like that. That's an important part of this. So I am now live on YouTube. I am here also on my Zoom session. If you are catching this on YouTube and you want to be here with me for open Q&A, you've got some newbie questions, I want to invite you to join me at aprilcox.com/events. I'm going to put it in the description or in the chat here. It's aprilcox.com/events. We are having a special event. We do this every Wednesday to answer your self-publishing newbie questions between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern every week. We had a lot of very spirited conversations on Monday for our Marketing Monday session. And that resulted in a lot of people, a lot of email comments about what a great session that was and all of the great things people learned. So my video editor hadn't gotten to go through and provide the updates or editing yet on the video, but I decided to go ahead and post it in its entirety on YouTube. And I also just sent it out to folks that are on my mailing list, just so that you have an opportunity to catch the replay, because it's really amazing. It's really good. We talked about what do you need to do? What can you be doing today to help you planning for and generating more holiday book sales? And so some of you might be saying, well, April, why are we talking about the holidays? It's August. Well, I did a deep dive into holiday sales, and I've been pulling a ton of great information from my Amazon ads class. And believe it or not, there are book sales starting to skyrocket for some key terms, key books. And I share all of that with you guys in some of the updates that I talk about in that session from Monday. So take a look. Love to hear your thoughts. And I'm going to just open it up for some information. What do you guys want to get on the agenda for today? If you have a question you'd like me to add to the list here for the agenda, feel free to take yourself off mute if you are with me here, and just go ahead. We'll start pulling a handful of things together. And also, I'm wanting to open it here for you that are live with me on YouTube. If you have a question you'd like me to answer live, you can go ahead and post it in the comments or in the chat. And I am monitoring that, and I will be happy to answer your questions here live. So who's got something? Karen?
Yeah, well, hi, everyone. I have 5 questions, so I'll try to keep it brief and fire them off. And some of them,
5 questions.
yeah,
I
some
love
of them
that.
are,
That's obviously very specific.
yeah, right. And so but I can be quick, or you can get back to me. I don't know what you want to do.
I'm just going to add a spotlight so people can see you as you're talking.
Oh, great. You get
Hope
to
that's
see me with
okay.
no makeup,
No,
nothing.
you
Okay.
were great. So we're here together supporting each other. So tell me, how can I help you today?
Well, okay, so I'm sort of in the thick of things. I basically, just to give everyone a recap, I basically got a bunch of books, 250 offset printed with Formax. I was very pleased. I have an in-person pre-launch event happening on Saturday. Meanwhile, I'm kind of behind in my goals because I haven't fully uploaded everything to Ingram Spark and KDP like I wanted to. So I'm kind of doing things not the right way, but that's okay because my goal was to just get it out there. And in the meantime, I did splurge on a reader's favorite and a Kirkus review, and I got a 5 star for reader's favorite, and then I got the Get It accolade from Kirkus, which was nice.
All right, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Congratulations. Let's take a moment to just take that in.
Thank you.
Ah,
I
all,
haven't even,
all too long we like rush past things and we just like we don't take a moment to just stop and think about what a huge accomplishment that is. You you did this, you created something that only 1% of the people that are have an idea to create a book actually do, which is publish. And then not only did you publish, you've got it ready to go, but you've got accolades from Kirkus, very highly respected reviewing company, and you've got an award, right? So I mean, like this is huge. Congratulations. That's awesome. Now that
thank
I've
you.
slowed you down for a moment, and as you whizzed past me saying, I just want to get it out there. Like, let's remember, you've got an award-winning book that's getting some accolades on Kirkus. Don't just rush past it. Let's really think about how to launch it right. Okay, so I'm just going to stop and give you a chance to go ahead and now ask your 5 questions.
Yeah, and so, that being said, I know that, I should take the time to launch the ebook and do it the way you recommend, which believe me, I'm 100% behind all that. The problem is that I've signed up for these other in-person events here in Chicago. Like we have what's called Printers Row Lit Fest, and so it's an in-person thing, and that is September 7th. So I sort of targeted September 5th as my publish date on Ingram and Amazon, but guess what? I'm so far behind because I had people in from Europe, and I didn't get any work done while they were here for 10 days. And so basically, I'm still setting up on Ingram and Amazon. Meanwhile, I'm going ahead with this in-person event on Saturday with 250 offset books.
Wow.
Um, and so I do have that in-person event on that weekend, but I could just hand out bookmarks or if there's any offset books left, I can sell those. But I was hoping to have Amazon and Ingram set up by that event, but maybe that doesn't happen, and maybe I'm okay with that. But then I'd have to change the pub date, which, Kirkus is okay with me changing the pub date. ISBN is okay with me changing the pub date. The thing is, Ingram Spark will not let me change my September 5th pub date. I've tried to change it, and so I'm like, uh-oh, I'm locked in, I guess.
Well, that's the problem with, well, you went past the time when of no return where you could have changed the date. So it's too close. So normally with Ingram Spark, you can put a date out there, and then when you publish or make it available for distribution, it'll show up in these other platforms like Amazon and Barnes and Noble as a pre-order. But then if it gets too close to that time, they don't let you stop, because what happens is they start printing those pre-orders, and they start doing some things, and there's a point of where it's kind of too late to go back and change the date. But it's okay to just get it out there. And first of all, if the date is not, if you're not ready and you don't have the files, it's not going to get out there for that at that point anyway. So
I
it's
do
not.
have the files.
Oh,
The
you
files
do.
are done.
You have the
Yeah,
file.
yeah.
So you have the files.
hmm And I uploaded them,
Okay.
and they worked.
They
It
look
was great
beautiful. You've
because
got a copy of the book. Everything looks
no,
good. No.
no, I don't have. I didn't take it to the end because I was trying to, do a draft on Ingram and simultaneously do a draft on KDP
Mhm.
before I brought it all the way to the proof stage. But I never even set up on KDP yet. So, because I know I'm supposed to go direct to KDP as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I usually start, so I'm gonna back up and kind of just do a brief recap, especially for those that may not know me or what I typically recommend for. And again, these are for children's books, where children's book authors, it is close to Christmas time, so I'm not going to tell you to do a 6-month pre-order, right? So we are wanting to move forward very quickly. Given the fact that you need to act quickly in order to get your book out there and start getting some sales, what I typically do is I recommend that you work with and get your ebook launched first as a pre-order, or as, launch it, just launch it, and get it ahead of your print book by at least a week, preferably 2, but at this stage, if you really need to expedite things more quickly, you could put them, closer to one another. Do you have the print book, the ebook format all done?
Yes, thanks to you and your people, because through you I worked with Sarah, and so I have, that's why the offset printing went so well. And basically, yes, so I have the ebook, I have all those files. And I did sort of set Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, as the ebook launch date, but I'm feeling the need to get the proof in for Ingram Spark.
Yeah,
You
so
know
the
what I
so the ebook launch would be fine. If you want to just go move forward with the ebook launch, depending on how big the file is, what I would prefer is that it gets launched as like a 99-cent ebook instead of $1.99 or $2.99, because hopefully you've been talking your book up and letting people know about all of this great work that's happening, and they know that the book is coming. If they want to support your book launch, or they're part of maybe your launch team, even if you haven't officially called it that, if you've got author friends, family, others that are like really excited about this book launch, then they can go in and purchase your ebook for 99 cents. Why is that such a big deal? Some people say, April, why can't I just launch it for free, like do a free ebook, through KDP Select or whatever. If you launch with where people actually have to purchase the ebook for 99 cents, that is a sale. If you're giving the book away, it is not. You could be number 1 on all the free book lists everywhere. It's not going to do a damn thing for your bestseller ranking. You are not a bestseller if you're not selling, if you're giving the book away. So we want to be a bestseller. We want your ebook we want people to pay for it. If it gets down to 99 cents, wonderful. Get it out, get it launched. If it has to be $1.99 or $2.99 because of the size of the book, fine. But offer it for sale. Get the support and get people purchasing the book. It is going to be a lot less competitive for you with some of your ebook categories are going to be much less competitive than print book categories. So it's also much easier for you to rank as an ebook than it will be to become a bestseller in a category for a print book. Normally, we can find categories that are like 10 sales or less to number 1. So given that, you're able to really launch your book, get lots of accolades. You get number 1 bestseller, number 1 new release. You get some momentum going. Now your ebook is out there. I also want you to be planning ahead and grab some promotions for that ebook, especially because things are happening very quickly right now. Go order an ebook promo from the Fuzzy Librarian. Go order from 1 or 2 other free ebook places that do promotions. There's ebook soda. There is written word media. BookBub is wonderful if you can get it. It's great to apply. But what these free promos do, so you're basically going to make your book free for a period of a day or 2. And as a result, people get to go check out the book. There's going to be a lot of traffic driven to your listing. So you want that to happen as your print book is launching. So say on the Tuesday, your print book launches, maybe that Wednesday, Thursday following, you're driving a bunch of traffic with a free ebook that where they go, oh, look at that. They have a hardcover too, or they have a paperback too. And if they really enjoy it, they're going to remember that they can go back and purchase the print book as well.
So you
So
make the ebook free after the print launch for a day or two.
yep, yep. And the magic between some of this is when your free ebook, your ebook launches and you're charging for that, you have to give enough space between your ebook launch to your print launch in order to allow people to get the book, download it, read it. And because it's a children's book, it's not going to take them long to read it, but engage and actually post a review. And sometimes the reviews can take a few days to show up, right? So when the actual print book launches, I want you to have some reviews already. And so because they're all linked together, the print books, the ebook, any ebook reviews you get automatically show on the print book. Even before your print book ever launches, you could have 20, 30, 50 reviews already.
Well, I definitely planned on, doing the ebook this Tuesday and then a September 5th publication date.
Yep.
But what's kind of confusing to me is with the offset printing and the in-person event that I have this Saturday, I've already used that hardcover ISBN for this in-person event. And the bookstore that I'm launching it at has actually inputted into their system. So
Okay.
that should be okay.
You can have a hardcover on, that you're using elsewhere and also have that same ISBN hardcover on Ingram.
That's what I thought, but then I got
have a
confused.
paperback on KDP, you can have a paperback on Ingram. So all of these, you can use the same ISBN numbers without any issue. If for some reason there is a conflict and it raises some red flag, worst case, you can just grab another ISBN if you need it and be able to use that instead. So you can still utilize multiple ISBNs if you absolutely need to, or if any monkey wrench comes in that gets thrown into the mix. So when you're talking about you're concerned about this event that's coming, is it just because you've got some hardcover books that you're selling and you're worried that there's going to be some kind of conflict where you're also selling it on Amazon? Because I don't see the conflict. I don't see the issue other than maybe a shortage of time.
I'm glad you don't see a conflict. That's great, because I thought I sort of had a moment where I'm like, wait a minute, is this okay to do? So I've got like an in-person pre-launch event with offset printing, and then the ebook launch on Tuesday, August 27th, I think it is. I can't remember. And then a follow-up with the print in September. But is that considering I haven't even gotten to the proof stage of on IS, I mean, basically.
So you're taking a chance. Now I have had some people, obviously, best case scenario, I would want you to order a proof copy of your book on Ingram, have it in your hand, go through it and go, I'm good with this. Now we can enable it. But there have been probably more than one, more than 10 maybe times. And I've had authors say, there's not enough time. Like, I really need this to get pushed out. So you take a risk that perhaps there's something about the book that you would have stopped and said no. But if you feel like, I think I'm pretty good. Oh, I should be okay. And you want to send it forward and let it go live, which I would do in your case, I would do. Because you already know the files have kind of gone through the paces with your offset printer. You've probably gone on to Amazon and been able to do a preview of things. You can see that things are you can also download the digital proof copy of your Ingram version, and you can see that, yep, everything looks fine. There's not anything obviously wrong with it. So let's walk through what happens when you take this risk. If you take the risk, if everything goes fine, then your book is out there ahead. You're able to, stick onto your launch plan without any issues. If for any reason there is an issue and you need to correct something, you just correct the files and re-upload them. And the bad thing is that the people who have maybe pre-ordered or ordered it prior to your updates will get the error, and you won't have any way of knowing who got the error. Can I reach out to them and let them know that, I want to fix it? You wouldn't know, other than maybe just like posting on your email list, hey, if you've ordered something and you got this error, let me know, I'll send you a new book. But you don't, but that, I think in this case, you're in pretty good shape, and I wouldn't really be too worried about it.
Well, otherwise I can push the print pub date, which I've thought about.
Yeah, well, you can't now because you can't change.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Yes. So I am one of those, like, let's do it.
I couldn't believe. So this is a word of warning to everyone. When you put in that pub date in Ingram Spark, be prepared. Because I thought, oh, I can probably change this, and then I couldn't change it.
Yeah, you can change it, but you just have to do it early enough. You can't let it get too close to the pub date and then try to change it at that point. Yeah. So that's the big deal with this.
All right, I'll let somebody else go because I have a couple more, but I don't want to.
All right, we'll come back to you. Karen, go ahead. I see your hand is raised. Go ahead. I got to get you off of mute, Karen.
There, I got myself off. Okay, I have two simple questions. So when I changed the price from $1.99 to $9.99 on my ebook, they sent me this letter, and on it, it has a little bullet that I don't understand. It says, well, I understand half of it. Create an author page through Amazon Author Central so readers can get information about you and your work. I've done that. You can join Amazon Author from here. Already have an Amazon page? This is the part I don't understand. Make sure you claim all of your books, including this one. When you add your books, they become eligible for our monthly KDP Select All-Star Bonus Program. I don't know how to do that or what it is. So that's one of my two questions.
Okay, so first of all this is telling you it's like you're moving forward according to plan, and they just want to give you a reminder because a lot of people forget. Don't forget to go and claim your author profile. So if you don't already have your author Central set up, that where people can click on your name as the author and go and see all of the books that you've created, then you want to go and set that up and claim.
I think I've done that already then.
So if you've already done that, then you move to the end. It says, just make sure you've claimed all your books. So if this is a new book or whatever, and that's not already claimed, you want to claim it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So the second half of that was about, that your books could be eligible for a bonus, which is true. If you have signed up for Kindle or for KDP Select, meaning that you've checked off the box when you're setting up your book and said, yes, go ahead and put me in KDP Select, which people like me who pay a monthly fee to be part of Kindle Unlimited, I can go borrow your book and get your book for free, not free because I pay a $10 fee, $9.99 a month or so, to have unlimited borrowing for Kindle Unlimited books. So because Amazon, you sign up and you agree to put your book in Kindle Unlimited, Amazon does a couple things. First of all, they give you, for this 90-day period that you're committing to, you're saying, I will sign up and put my book in KDP Select or Kindle Unlimited. As a result, Amazon gives you 5 free days. They give you the ability to run promotions and set your book for free for 5 days within that 90-day period. And you can run promotions. You can do all kinds of things with those free days. So you are committing to a 90-day period where
Okay.
you're going to be exclusive to Amazon. And don't worry about that. Some people hear exclusive to Amazon and they think, oh my gosh, what about my print books? How am I going to sell my print books? It has nothing to do with the print books. It is exclusively related to your ebook. So as part of your commitment to them, you're saying, I'm not going to go upload it onto Apple Books or Google Books, Kobo, any of those others, Draft to Digital, Smashwords, whatever.
Okay,
You're
I
gonna
have
keep it
a
in
question with that, because that leads to the second question. So I was wondering, do I need to take my ebook off Select because I'm on the Indie Library, Indie,
No.
Washington?
I would say right now you're being evaluated for the Select catalog. If they come back to you and say, yes, you have been elevated to a Select catalog, then I'd say probably reconsider that.
Okay, but if it just says Indie, Washington, which is my state,
I
don't
wouldn't
worry.
worry about it. What they're monitoring their competitors, Apple Books, Google Books, Kobo, anything that Draft to Digital would be blasting your ebook out to.
Okay, well, I got a notice that I'm getting 9 cents for a royalty, which I had to laugh at.
That's
So
nice.
I'm not even sure, where is that 9 cents coming from?
Where did you get notified from? Is it a
KDP.
KDP? Yeah, it's probably just the early phases of your sales, because it takes a few months to get the actual sales to hit. So it must have been just like a weird timing issue that, you got a 9-cent royalty from your early, because it's been about that long since you've launched your book, right? A few
Right.
months. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so to go in and get those 5 free days, how do I do that?
So what I wanted to say is that there's a place when you're in KDP and you go to your marketing tab, you're going to see things like, Amazon ads and A+ content. And if you just scroll a little bit farther, you're going to see pricing promotions. So this is in KDP. And that's where you set up your book to be for free. But don't waste those days. I want to just say my recommendation to you, whether you're launching a new book or you're just taking advantage of the KDP free days that you have, because if you don't use them, you lose them.
Okay.
So you only have 90 days to use the 5, right? So
Which, if it's been 90 days since I've launched, but I changed the price, does that mean it's a new 90 days?
No. So the 90 days will automatically renew unless you tell it not to. So after 90 days, let's just say you didn't use any of your days, and then it refreshes and gives you a new 90-day period. It just rolls over, and now you've got 5 days again. So if you don't use
so it's for
lose them.
every 90 days.
Yes, every 90-day period, you get 5. So let me tell you a little bit about how I want you to use those days. I want you to go and schedule a Fussy Librarian promotion. Go apply for BookBub. I want you to find these kind of promotional sites whose only job is to identify people that want to see free ebooks or they want to read discounted books. And so with Fussy Librarian, for example, they have a list of more than 600,000 readers. And a subset of them have said that they're interested in children's books. So those people that have indicated that they want to be notified when there's specials on children's books, they're going to get your book is going to get blasted out to them along with a bunch of their friends and others, right? So your book gets some visibility. Now, the people, when they click on that link, it goes directly to your Amazon listing.
Well,
so
I get BookBub things all the time, and I'm always picking 3 books.
Right, exactly.
And
that's what other people do as well. So instead of I've got some authors that tell me, hey, I put my book, I launched my book and I made it free for 5 days and I only got 10 downloads. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. You just put it out there and told your friends to go grab it. You need to use those free days wisely. When you put it out and you drive traffic through Fussy Librarian, then that will get you, 600 to 1,000 downloads typically. Not everybody's going to review them. A very small percentage of people will review the book. However, what you're doing is you're driving traffic to Amazon. You're getting eyeballs on your book that would not have been there otherwise. And you're getting some clicks, right? Maybe some purchases out of it, some downloads and potentially reviews. I would say don't expect a huge number of reviews because free ebook readers are probably a lot less likely to be invested in giving you a review or turning around a quick review. They may not even look at your book for 2 months. They might go, oh, that's a great book, I want to check it out. And then it sits on their Kindle or their iPad for a number of months before they even look at it. Normally, I think I heard somewhere about 2% of the people that read your book will review it. So 2 for every 100 people that download it. So I usually look at it as a way of driving traffic to Amazon, driving traffic, getting eyeballs on the book, and giving and hopefully getting people talking about the book. That will, if you go to a site like BookBub, like these are all promotion sites. I say free ebook promotion, but it's not free to us. We pay for the privilege of Fussy Librarian blasting our ebook out to a bunch of people.
Oh, so I have to apply for Fussy Librarian and pay a fee.
Exactly.
And same thing with BookBub.
And
And I've heard of baby
book.
BookBub.
Yeah, so you need to make sure that you're planning well in advance. So it takes, give yourself a couple of weeks before you really want a promo to go live. Don't expect to log in today and find that you can run a promo, this week or early next week. It might be really harder. You need to give yourself a couple of weeks. Now with BookBub,
Maybe for Veterans Day, trying.
yeah, I would look ahead and be like, I'd be grabbing, because it costs for children's books, it costs $25 to get an ebook promo. So for a free promo, $25 I'll pay. So you can go and grab, the timelines and always run it on either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't do Fridays, don't do weekends, and stay away from Mondays. Just those Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays are the best.
So since 5 days, they don't have to be consecutive days?
No, what I usually do is I'll do 1 month, I might do 2 days. The next month I'll do 2 days. And then the last month I'll have 1 day left. I'll run another one. So I'll run 3 promos, drive a bunch of traffic, experiment with like stacking a bunch of promotions. Meaning like I might sign up with Fussy Librarian and then also go get an ebook soda one, or I'll go get another and I'll blast it out to a bunch of other free sites that say, hey, post your free ebooks here and people will come and we'll find out about your free ebook.
What's the difference between BookBub and Baby?
Book Baby. So Book Baby, I think is they help you publish, like they're, I don't know if we call it a hybrid or like an assisted publishing company. So I don't consider them a promotional site. Should
not Book Baby. And then you said something like about soda.
Yeah. So ebook soda is another one. I do have I have a resource library that has like 80 different free ebook sites. And so you've been a part of my course, Karen. So you can go to the library, that resource library that I have, and just look up ebook promotions or whatever, and just search for that. And you'll get a downloadable list of like 80 different places you could go to. Now, I usually just focus on a handful of them. One of them is BookBub, which it's very exclusive and hard to get to. You can apply and you're probably not going to get in. And it's okay. It's one of those things where they only have so many slots and they have a lot of people applying. So if you don't get it, mark it on your calendar to go back and apply again in 30 days. And just keep trying, because once you do get a BookBub promotion, it is more costly, but there's a whole lot more eyeballs on your book. And I've seen as many as 50,000, 55,000 actually downloads of a children's book for one BookBub promotion.
Can I ask you, can I jump in with BookBub? If you have already published your book, it's still really worth it to do a BookBub promotion?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Because
so
you don't want to just launch your book really well the first time around. You want to continue to have have strategies to drive more traffic and visibility to your book. And so some of that could be from ebook promotions, some of it could be social media, email marketing, like what are you doing, Amazon ads, to drive people and drive traffic, drive eyeballs to your book. That's what, because no matter what, you have to have a way of letting people know that your book is for sale. It sounds to me like you really do like doing the in-person events, and a lot of people do. So if that's how you drive eyeballs to the book and you drive sales for your book, then that's perfectly fine. But there are also other things you can consider for your online versions.
Yeah, that BookBub sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Mary Alice, go ahead. I see your hand.
I'm going to lower my hand and okay, can I read a one pager that I wrote today? And
I would
honestly,
love that.
guys, I felt like I was brain dead while I was doing it. So I don't even know if I like it, but that I will share a screen, but
Oh, hold on. You know what? Wait a minute. I'm going to bring you, bear with me while
oh no, I don't need a big picture.
but I want to see.
Spare-
You're going to share your
Spare the
screen.
people, spare the
I'm gonna-
people.
All right, go ahead. Share your
Yeah.
screen. What are you,
Okay,
what are
let
you
me-
reading?
And then I'm gonna, yeah, little kid Christmas story. But how do I make that big? Where'd it go?
I don't see
Yeah.
anything being shared yet. Let me just see. Oh, yeah,
Well,
you are
it-
I
sharing.
see a
I'm
little,
not-
It was
It's probably
teeny.
behind the bazillion screens I have open. Oh, there it is. I see it now.
Okay,
Okay.
can
So,
you bring it bigger? So let me
Uh,
just, the background is this, the book I wrote is God, I Want to Know You. The search that led to an outstanding find. And where does a little kid find God? Right inside. And so the next book, and God introduces himself to little kid as big love. So next he's got to be learning about how to live with God inside. Now, precursor from 6 o'clock this morning till umpteen hours into the day, I'm working on tech stuff and got nowhere. And so suddenly I thought I'm going to try to write something. This is how this, but how do I make that big? The share, it's not
I
showing.
think it's about as big. I think it's you at this point. If you've got on the very left side of your window, there's three things. One of them is green, like the three little dots, the red, yellow, green. Click on that green one and see if we can't blow that up to full
You're
size.
screen sharing. It says I'm screen sharing, but I'm not. Let me
Yeah,
stop.
you are screen sharing. It was screen
Okay,
sharing.
I stopped the share and I'm going back and here it is. But how do I make it big enough that
I
we
think
can?
we can see, we can see it. So you can go
it
ahead.
is big.
Yeah, go
How-
ahead. Go ahead and
But-
read to us. I want some story time. Mary
Okay,
Alice.
but you
I love
know
your-
what? I don't even see it.
Oh,
And I didn't print it out. Wait a minute, I'm going to do
how about if you want to email it to me, I'll share it on your behalf and then you can read from my screen if you.
read, wait a minute. No, book ready for the holidays. No, that was ideas, children's word search. Blessing. Oh, this is getting obnoxious.
Just send it to me and I'll share it
Well,
on your.
now I gotta find it.
behalf.
Okay, let me find it and as soon
Yeah,
as.
just send it over to me. I'm happy to share it and then you can read it from my end.
Okay, but it was there. Okay, I'm gonna stop the share. It was there when I shared. No, I don't. Anyway, how can I? Wait a minute. Okay, I can see it on my screen.
Yeah, just read it to us. We're okay. We don't have
Okay,
to be looking at it.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? Just be honest, because I don't even know if I like it. A little kid figures out the manger. Since someone you love, who loves you, read my story of finding God, I'd like to share some Christmas thoughts with you. See, I figured out it was important to God to have Jesus born on earth. Just think about this. He wasn't born in a spick and span hospital. People did not celebrate, hooray, hooray, God's son came to earth today. Why was it done so quietly with no big fuss? I think it's because God was showing us this not seen birth was the way he'd be born in you and me. God living in my heart does not come with great commotion, even though it's as real can be. Mostly it's about him and me, okay? Not a big show for crowds to see. He knows I'm his home, and I know he lives in me, a forever living together. I'm like his manger, the perfect container for his birth.
I like it.
I don't know if I should. I mean, I was so desperate after spending umpteen hours working on tech stuff and got nowhere that I tried to write.
You got to save the tech stuff for me. I'm there for you. We'll do it together, hon. No
Thank
worries.
God, because
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's got a lot of
see,
potential.
I'm his manger.
Yeah.
And that wasn't big with pomp and circumstances. It was but it's as real can be.
I like it.
So
Mary,
what's
I like it a lot. I think it's sweet. It's by like just listening to you read it gives me the visions in my head, and like when I read things, I look through the eyes of kids, and I think that would be a very beautiful thing to teach children about
to bring
God
it
and about right. Like,
But- okay, tell me,
because in their world, everything is about Chris.
Yeah, Kris Kringle and presents and me. And but okay, so what should I do with it as a Christmas theme?
Well, what if you did something that was, what if you just read the story and you did like a video and that gives people a little bit of information about this new story that you're working on, and actually, but make sure you copyright some things first before when you finalize it. And then also can highlight some of the previous versions of your book that are already available that you're working on.
So
That could
just
be
do
one thing.
video promotion. You know what, guys? I woke up to something today. I had a personal Facebook for years and years, and then I started Mary Alice the writer Facebook, and it dawned on me. And so I went to my personal Facebook and I said, sorry guys, I've been remiss. And I started putting some of my Mary Alice the writer stuff on there, and I'm stirring up people from years ago.
Oh, I love that.
That
That's
was just a
awesome.
happenstance. But so I'd have to copyright this literally at the Library of Congress, do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk more when we get together, because you're gonna want to make sure it goes through editing. You know, if needed, if you need to have an editor take a look at it for you, but yeah, you would just want to make sure that nobody's gonna steal your story and then use what you're reading to benefit and profit from themselves, because unfortunately, those kinds of things can happen.
Sweetheart, I did. Okay. I make videos. I've got videos on Instagram, Facebook, um, my blog, etc. I don't copyright any of those. I just share what I write. So why would this have to be any different?
Well, you should always protect your intellectual property, because it's your intellectual property. It's something that you're creating, a unique creation that you're packaging into a book and then you're selling. So if you give people a peek into it too soon and you're sharing too much of like the final work, then somebody could take that and run with it and then come out with a book before you do with
Okay.
your own
Yeah.
idea.
Okay, we'll talk about, because this following the book that where he discovers God inside. So now I'm just connecting that understanding to Christmas. Okay.
Right, I like that. Yeah, and sometimes putting together one of these little stories like this could be like a little Christmas. You could make it a lead magnet where, oh, you want
There you go.
my little what do you call it? A prequel or a little supplement that it's just extra. It's not into a book yet, but it's something that you could make available for people to download. Maybe you even have like your illustrator create one image or something that gives a little bit of a picture of what it is that you're talking about without going too crazy. You could
Okay.
monetize it or incent people. It's not like you're going to ask them to pay for it, but what you'll say is go to my website if you'd like to download this. Maybe it'll come with,
Would be a good lead magnet for Christmas.
sign people up on your mailing list. Use it to sign up people for your mailing list. I
Okay.
think that could be really helpful.
Thank you. I won't take any more
welcome.
time.
You're welcome. So we had one question on YouTube where they said, how long do you normally want to have an ebook on pre-order? I would say a couple of weeks, longer if it makes sense. I'll give you another example. I have an author that I'm working with. Her book is called The Compassion Advantage, and it is a nonfiction book. Andrea Hollingsworth is the author, and she is a nonfiction author with a ton of experience in corporate America and how compassion and taking care of your people, coming up with ideas of ways of helping the workforce be more productive and what they should do to cater to those people who need that, and how to have a more engaged workforce and all of that stuff. And she sells her she does speaking arrangements. So she might have a book like this end up launching and getting, a speaking gig for $10,000 or something. So she's not so much worried about the sales of her book as much as she is about creating the authority, telling people and letting people know what she is capable of, where her authority exists. And also, so something like that, maybe a pre-order for much longer for the ebook, and then having a space between the launch of the ebook and the launch of the print book, much longer, many more weeks. And if you're looking at a traditional publishing launch, they might have pre-orders out there for a book for months and months, 6 months sometimes, just to have a book out there on pre-order. Maybe it's more the print book, but let's just put it this way. If J.K. Rowling comes out and says, the ebook is on pre-order and you're a huge fan, you're going to rush to go grab the pre-order so that you get it as soon as possible, as soon as it's made available. So use them to build anticipation, use them with your launch teams to help drive traffic, plan it out depending on the specific needs of your book. I would say for 90% of my audience, having the ebook launched 2 or 3 weeks ahead of the print books works just fine. Okay. All right. Anyone else have a question? Let's see.
Only to say thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Go ahead, Karen.
It's me again.
No worries.
So, I mean, April, I have to thank you because I've been looking at a lot of your videos. They're super helpful. You've been, I've been following you for a while. It's been great. So the thing is, I'm wondering if you can point me to a resource in terms of simultaneously doing Ingram Spark and KDP, because that's what you recommend, right? And I could not find the video that actually nails that, like how those two sync up. And have you done a video on that? I'm just wondering.
I know I have. I'm going to have to dig it out. I do have some step-by-step things on how to create your KDP book, and then how to create the Ingram Spark version. And I know, especially with my mastermind, I have open office hours where my mastermind members can drop in and I'm there for like 2 hours. So I'll have somebody drop in and go, I think I'm ready. Can we can we set up the KDP and the Ingram all together? And so I'll end up doing it all with them or for them as we work through it. I gotta look it up. So where are the places that you're stuck? Let me take a step back and say, you just want to make sure when you're setting up your KDP, I usually have them open in 2 different tabs. And
Okay.
I have my identifiers, which is the Boker with all of your ISBNs in another. And I'll have, and you're not alone. If you want to do some one-on-one coaching with me, and if we put together 90 minutes, maybe a couple of hours, it can all be done in that period of time. So if you want to shadow me while I do it and get the recording, so you'll always have it, that's typically what a lot of my authors do. And I know Ruth is here. Ruth and I did this same thing actually not that long ago, where she said the same thing. I think I'm ready. Can we just do it? So I will open up and I'll start with KDP. I'll go through and make sure that the ISBN that we have set up in Boker is correctly referring to the right title and subtitle. And I do spend some time. So here's my process. I spend some time making sure that the title and the subtitle have, good keywords. If there is an opportunity to tweak the title a little bit to make it a little bit better for keywords, then I will do that or work with the author to do it. We finalize the title, and then I start looking at keyword phrases and things to help improve the subtitle. Why? Because if you really want a lot of visibility, then your subtitle is huge for organic searches. People, if I have a subtitle that says a children's social emotional book for kids ages 3 to 7. Well, people that are online searching for social emotional children's book, all those keywords are right in your subtitle. So you're going to automatically rank higher than somebody who just takes those keywords and puts them into one of their 7 keyword slots. So I do spend a lot of time analyzing subtitles, keywords, because you've got 7 keyword phrases on that KDP that again will help Amazon know what your book is about, help you get more organic sales. So I spend a lot of time on analysis of keywords. And then once I've got the title, the subtitle, the keywords, the next big place that I go is really digging deep, and I will get Publisher Rocket. I will go in and find some low competition, high visibility, but low competition, at least one category that will make it easier for you to become a #1 new release and a bestseller. And in the case of Publisher Rocket, I mean, I don't ever want to see people put themselves in things like, hold on, I need to turn this off. My phone at me. I don't want you to put yourself in basket weaving. If your book is not about basket weaving, I don't want it to be disaster recovery or about disaster category when your book is about an adoption, a family adoption or something, right? So your categories should always be highly relevant, but there are ways with using tools like Publisher Rocket, and I have a lot of videos where I walk through this process. I also have a lot of videos where I walk through my process of finding golden keywords and populating those 7 keyword phrases. So I will work through that, get the 3 categories, because you're allowed only 3 now, 3 categories. At least one of them will be one that's easier to rank in. And the goal for me during this process is to find out how many books do I need to sell to be #1 during your book launch. And so as we're going through the categories analysis, I'll see, oh, this one you need to sell 10 books in a 24-hour period. This category, let's use my book as an example, puppy dogs, right? My book has a little Labradoodle in it. And it's, if I'm trying to go into the category of dogs, animal dog books, then I'm probably going to have to sell like 280 books in a day to be #1. But if I look at some other topic that is a little more niche, but it's still highly relevant for my book, I may have to sell only 40 in that one. And then maybe as we look at more things, we find a category that again is still highly relevant, but it only needs 10 sales to number one. So I would like your book to become a number one new release. I would like it to get to that 10 sales so that you can be number one bestseller. And
Well,
also your goal there too of like, we need to make sure that your target audience, your people that are helping you launch your book, that they're going to go on these certain couple of days and they're going to grab the book, and you're driving that traffic there to be able to get to the number one. You had
I have to say that it was really great. I did pay for a session with you where you did the keywords with me.
okay.
So we've already got that ground
So we've
covered.
got, all right, so then we go through all that. Now we've got the keywords categories. We're selecting a day. So you're selecting the day that you're going to launch. Now, all of that information, and by the way, you're going to have to put a nice hook and description. That's another important part. Hopefully, if we've already met, then we've gotten that description and stuff finalized.
That's in good shape.
Usually I'll bounce in and take a look at some AI tools that I use to kind of to come up with some really good descriptions. And by the way, I'm just going to put a plug here. I've actually created my own AI tool. And so I'm going to link to it in the video. I'm going to let you guys know. But if you go to authorpreneur.ai, then you're going to get a peek at the work that I've been doing with an AI. And it just redirects you to this like custom version of ChatGPT that I started with, and I've already enhanced it quite a bit. It's just not republished yet, but the version that's out there is kind of cool. If you go to my website, selfpubmadesimple.com, my chat AI tool is now connected to my website. So if you're asking questions about self-publishing, it's giving you answers from my AI, which is really cool. I'm just such a geek. I can't help it. I am just a geek, and it's all connected now, so you can check it out. And if you ask it to help you with creating a description, it will. So anyway, that's just a plug where you can get some free help with an AI tool.
Cool.
But you get all of this stuff now. You open up so you want to make sure your Ingram Spark account is all set up, and you're going to set up the same identifier, same title, same subtitle. Make sure your series names, if you've got a series and you've listed it on Amazon, make sure it's also showing on Ingram. That's one area that people do tend to fall behind a little bit with. So Ingram Spark, go in and make sure the series is showing correctly. Make sure that you have your author name, your illustrator names are all the same, listed the same. You don't want to have one have your middle initial and one not. So make sure all of that matches. Make sure your ISBNs match on both sides.
And do the descriptions have to match exactly too?
I've heard somebody in a video say that they do need to match. I've never seen that be an issue, but you might as well make them match, because otherwise you're going to be looking at your ebook and then go over to the hardcover and go, well, that's different. That's weird. You can make sure you can move all your keywords over, and all of that's pretty easy to just step through. And then as you go to the next field, you're uploading your Amazon files to your Amazon KDP. If you've got a really fantastic designer who formats your book well, they're going to give you separate files that are different for your Ingram versus your KDP, because the file requirements are different in both places. So you'll upload the right files to each version depending on its requirements. And then you're going to start setting up your pricing information. With Ingram, because it's a distribution platform, they're going to make your book available to bookstores like Amazon, like Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and a bunch of other places, bookstores and libraries. You have to add some additional things there, like what kind of a discount do you want to offer bookstores? And so the pricing setup is slightly different. So I would dig into, if you're really struggling with that, just find that video on my channel where I walk through setup of Ingram, but that's a little bit different. Other than that, KDP will allow you
Does the
to.
price have to be the same, like,
I
for
would.
my,
Well, so if you're typically I'm setting up the ebook and the paperback on KDP, and I start with the hardcover on Ingram because I want the hardcover to be done sooner rather than later. So I would start with that. If your if your hardcover is not at least 75 pages and it's not one of the small number of books that is made available in hardcover, you can't even do a hardcover on Amazon. So there's no real issue with that. So, but if you're setting up the paperback, yes, you'd want them to match. You'd want the same pricing on both sides.
oh,
And
I see. So basically the, loading the hardcover onto Ingram Spark, then you can't even load a hardcover onto Amazon directly. So Ingram Spark pushes it to Amazon.
correct. And then when
Okay.
Amazon receives it, so let's go through the process. With KDP, you're previewing your files. It lets you see it right then and there. And if everything looks good, you can set up your pricing and you can click publish. If you want to, you can go ahead and click publish. It doesn't, one of the downfalls with KDP is they don't allow you to like set up a pre-order. You can't say publish, but only publish it on 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now, and then have them show it as a pre-order. Doesn't work. So you have to like decide which day that you want your book to be available, back up by 3, and just click it on, I'd say probably a Friday if you want it available on Tuesday. And so it's a little bit, they do now have this thing that says you can select a future date to publish on, so that if you really want it available on a certain day, you could choose the day, but it does mess things up with Ingram. Like they'll get back to you and say, sorry, your ISBN has already been published, so we can't allow you to choose a date. It's just they step on each other over there. So you can't pre-select the date. Just click a Friday when you want it on a Tuesday or whatever, and that's perfectly fine. When we get into Ingram, we're uploading the file, we're setting up the distribution pricing. And unfortunately with Ingram, you can't see a preview of your work. So you're not like Amazon does, lets us like look at it and scroll through it, make sure everything looks good. You don't really know if it looks good until after a few days when it comes back to you and they say, it's ready for your approval. Do you want to download a digital draft or a digital proof copy? So at that point, you get to take a look at it, at the digital draft. And then
what does the bar say at the top? What category is that in then? Is that validation or confirmation, or I can't remember.
yeah, I think it just says awaiting your approval or something like that. Is that what you mean? The status of it at that point?
Okay.
So it allows you to look at
So
it.
you have to go all the way to the end to get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have submitted it, and then it comes back. Now, just because it looks good on digital on screen, on the file that you open, and it's got you still could have some issues with it where when you actually order it, which I normally would say, order a copy just for yourself, because you don't have to make it available for everybody. You can just say, I approve this file only for me to order my own copy. Get it in hand, scroll through it. Everything looks good. Perfect. Go say, okay, now I want to make it available everywhere. And at that point, then it pushes it all out, and you'll see it appearing on Barnes and Noble probably first. You'll see it on Amazon after maybe a week or 10 days. You'll see it show up on Walmart and Target much longer. It takes much longer to get there. But Books A Million and all those other places, you'll start to see now it is available for those bookstores to bring into their stores. Most of them make it available immediately on their website. So you can go to like target.com or barnesandnoble.com, and you can see it there waiting for you. So you can immediately, people can order it. And so if Target, let's just say it shows up on Target, and then Target's having a special for the holiday, and it's 2 for 1 for books, children's books. then they get the benefit of the sale price for ordering your book off of their Target website instead of the Amazon one. And so they will throw different promotions. Different websites will offer different promotions. So it's good to kind of see how all that comes together. With Amazon, when you're pushing publish, now this hardcover book, which Amazon doesn't allow you to have hardcovers on KDP, if you're only doing a children's book of say 32 pages or 36 pages. So it goes on and it pushes out to Amazon. Amazon says, okay, here's this book that came in through this file feed. Let me see if I already have it somewhere. So it kind of matches it up and links it. Probably 70% of the time it links by itself. The other 30% of the time we have to ask Amazon to fix it because it didn't link correctly. That's why I said just make sure everything is exactly the same. And 30% of the time, even when it is exactly the same, it doesn't link correctly. So you'll have to ask them to open up a case and have it pull all these things together. Can you tell I've done like 1,600 books in the past 6 years? It's crazy. Like I do this in and out. Probably today I've published, I think five books today with my authors. And every day I'm publishing 2 or 3 or 4 books. And I'm there hand holding authors through the process. So there's probably not an error that you're going to find that I have not stumbled across at least once, probably in that month. So that's why I love helping authors and I offer the coaching, because if you're just doing this once a year, you're not going to remember what was it that I had to do to make this link. You know, I forget, you just forget, and you're only doing a book once or twice a year. You're not going to remember. So
Yeah,
Ingram
already came up with problem code number 108 with shipping address, something or another.
Okay.
Like, what is that?
Okay. So yeah, that could, we can look at some of those kind of things and pull it together. But the goal is to get all of this stuff linked up so that when people then are there downloading your ebook, they see your print book is there already. The reviews that you get on your ebook are automatically shown on your print books because they're all linked together.
Yeah.
You have A+ content that helps drive all of this stuff and helps, you know, give people a little bit more information about how your book looks, how and you know, all the beautiful illustrations and the value of your book. But all of that stuff can happen. And coaching hours with me, you can just say, April, you know what? I have no time. I'm going to such and such an event. Take the 2 hours that I booked with you and just do it and let me know how it goes. I'm fine with that. Or we could do it together and I can record it and you can, you know, shadow me to do it.
You're the best.
Up to you. Whenever. I'm here to help. So I do know that I've gone a little bit over with, I normally stop my feed around 9 o'clock and then switch over to my authorpreneur session. But I see there's a couple of hands that went up just in case it's about what I just went over. Let me just take a moment before I stop the feed and say goodbye to my YouTube friends. So go ahead. Leslie, you had a question?
Let Karen go first because mine might go more into the next one. She's
Okay.
had her hand up for a while.
Okay.
Mine isn't about what you were talking about. Mine is
so that's fine. And both of you are more here for the authorpreneur session next. So I'm just going to say goodbye to my friends on YouTube. If you are interested in becoming more involved and getting into and being part of these conversations and having that extra hand-holding, then think about the mastermind and go to my website, selfpubmadesimple.com, join the mastermind, be a part of these sessions. The hand-holding and the extra stuff that you get is just absolutely phenomenal. Not just me, but my team. So I invite you to check it out. It's $49 a month. Come on, guys, $49 for a month's worth of hand-holding. Come and join the mastermind if you're not already there. $4.99 a year it's like 50% off as it is. And so though that price won't last long because I've got a lot of things happening. So join me, enjoy that. And thank you for allowing me to plug that. So with regard to holiday sales, there is so much going on. I am going to also link the previous Marketing Monday session. It is holiday time. Check that out. Watch the replay. There's a ton of information that you can do, and a special thing that I've created for holiday sales for children's book authors, with all of the jewels and the special keywords and crazy amount of books that are selling like hotcakes right now, that are holiday books that you can also start targeting and getting your eyeballs in front of your books. So there's a lot of information I share there and more to come. So check those things out, and I will let you go for now, and we'll switch over to my friends here in the Authorpreneur Mastermind. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Let me just go ahead and stop.